Hello, this is Gareth Watt, and I'm Sonic the Chadgehog. What am I saying? Like, really? Okay, so, this is Sonic the Chadgehog, and I'm here with you on a 3DS. Look at that. I'm looking at the broadcaster, and I just like how the setup looks for some reason. I don't know how it looks on YouTube yet. It might look a bit iffy there, but on currently, that's looking kind of neat. Right, so, first 3DS video. What better way to start off a 3DS piece of recording gameplay than with a Game Boy game? I want to do Dreamland first. I'm sorry, I'm doing Dreamland first. Okay, so Dreamland it is. I have a lot of cables here. I should probably untangle this first. Alright, so clearly we're not going to start here. I'm going to go right back to the start of the game. Alright, so welcome to my Let's Play of Kirby's Dreamland. This is going to be, I think I'm going to record the full LP today actually. Because with any luck, it won't be that long. I do want to get a Pokemon right. This music is so nostalgic, I just love it. I don't even need to look at the 3DS, I can look at the computer. It's so nice to have a recording device that captures real time! Right, people who have the 3DS Virtual Console are probably some people who have the 3DS Virtual Console might be thinking, what the hell? This isn't how the 3DS Virtual Console looks, green! Well, if you hold L and R, you can toggle it between the black and white, which most people will be familiar with, or the pea green soup, and the black, which is the actual colours that were displayed on an actual Game Boy. This being the first game I played, this is the colour scheme I'm nostalgic for, this is the colour scheme I grew up with for the Game Boy, this is the colour scheme I will be playing in. The test video I've got upcoming from a 3DS also has the Game Boy game in this sort of colour. So yeah, Kirby's Dreamland. Also, I don't care if it's Virtual Console or it's normal. This layout on this screen is what I'm going to use, so you will have that Virtual Console thing down there. I just hit the mic. Okay, so, shall we get started? Right. Kirby's Dreamland, green greens. I love the music. Alright, Kirby's generally quite an easy game. I think it was... Interesting fact about Kirby himself. Kirby is actually a placeholder. Kirby wasn't actually meant to be... ooh, what's happened there? Reinitialize, come on. Right. Kirby himself was actually a placeholder until they developed the actual character, but they grew too attached to Kirby, and honestly, can you blame him? Look at him. It's adorable. I love Kirby. I'm finding the 3DS character to be a little bit spotty. Okay, so the game basically, this is the first game. This is before Kirby had his copy ability, so don't expect to see any copy abilities. Right. But yeah, the first game I ever played. Obviously, I've got huge nostalgia for this one. There's things blinding me, but it's definitely got charm. Look at the game. It's got a lot of charm. For a Game Boy game, I think this looks fantastic. It's got a brilliant art style to it. It's got a nice bit of graphical detail. Oh, he's got to jump at me. Jump! Right. Yeah, mini bosses. Every single level, every level in this game has a mini boss and an actual boss. So yeah, that's kind of neat. I can't think of that many games that have every level have a mini boss. I think Sonic the Hedgehog is one of the only ones that comes to mind, and even then it's not all the time. Interesting how Kirby and Sonic are two of my favourite platformer games. Yeah, I've just got a lot of memories. This is the first game I bought this is the first game I ever owned. It's the first game I ever beat. And it is the first game I bought on the 3DS Virtual Console, of course. Come on, it's the first game I ever played, and the Virtual Console's entire purpose to me is to relive old games that you have fond memories with. Or to rediscover hidden gems. There's I think there's a fair few of them on the 3DS Virtual Console. Not so much the Wii's, I don't know, there's not that much of them on the Wii's. And the Wii U's Virtual Console currently is a joke in my opinion. Although that's partly because I don't really want to play my Game Boy Advance games on the Wii U. Although if I'm honest, the 3DS has all the Game Boy Advance games I care about, so I'm alright. Okay. Boss time. I wonder who the first... Ooh. Something interesting that I'll show off later on. It's possible to land on the top of Wispy Woods. But yeah, as far as first bosses go, he's kind of iconic. I think Wispy Woods is actually the iconic first boss. Not a lot of people, whenever I ask people the name of first boss, even people who haven't played Kirby know about this guy. So yeah, that's the first level in the game. This is a very short game. So yeah, that's like 1/5 of it. And that's been generous. I like how the music, by the way, changes with the sound effects. Like, I like how some beats start missing when Kirby inhales, for example. Little things like that I like. I keep saying that I'm not a big fan of music. And then I keep pointing out stuff like that to my friends, but I'm very, very focused on pointing out that it's lyrics that I'm not a big fan of in music. I like the tunes. I like just listening to tunes. They're brilliant. I think any door here leads you to the next part of the level. I can't remember clearly because I always take this one. Because this door doesn't. All the other doors I think just take you to the next part of the level, but this one takes you to his secret area. With not that many secrets. There's a health pickup. That's what those bottles are, health pickups. They restore I think 2 of your health. I don't take damage often enough to care. And this here, well, Mario has the Starman, but that won't do for Kirby. Kirby's a gluttony. So, Invincibility Candy. That's his actual name. This is the room you would go to if you took another door. But we're invincible, and honestly, you don't need the invincibility in that area, so I don't know why I took that detour. Mini-boss! This mini-boss actually reappears in the boss fight, so yeah. I'm not doing a lot of talking about the game itself. Yeah, I like the level design actually. I want to bring up the level design. For the first game of the Kirby series, I think the level design is pretty good. It's not that great, but as far as a beginner's platformer goes, I think it's got good level design. Right, this here is Super Spicy Curry. How many of you that played Smash Brothers knew it originated from this game? I'm sorry, I have to stop talking for a moment. I love the power-up music. Actually, something I might do is actually make that segment where I was quiet louder so you can hear it as well. The music in this game, by the way, there's not really a dud. I like almost all the music in this game. And that's not nostalgia talking. When I hear remixes, I really think they sound a lot better. So I also have Superstar Ultra and Triple Deluxe, and the remixes that are in both of those games of certain songs in this game are wonderful and some of my favourite ever. Bubbly Clouds is my favourite song in this game. The title theme, however, gets the best remix I have heard in a Kirby game in Triple Deluxe, and it's brilliant. I just love it. Boss time! I just realised I don't think I named Wispy Woods. The first boss was called Wispy Woods. This is Lololo and La La La. Technically 2 bosses. This is, I think this one, yeah, they've both got their own health bar. And they've both got 3 hits. So yeah, the mini-boss was 1/2 of the boss fight. Really not that hard a boss fight. I wonder what DDD was thinking when he hired them. What are your secret talents for taking out blobs that can absorb people into their bellies and consume them all? I can push blocks. You're hired! And now that I've said that out loud, we're all in the family. They go, I did not nick that, I swear. It just fall flat. Float Islands. This is my least favourite level in the game, and I still really like it. And the tune is wonderful. I love the tune. The Dreamland 2, I think this song is the only one alongside King Dedede's theme to return. Apart from obviously power-up music. That's the only way to kill a Shotzo. Pointing it out right there. The cannon guys are called Shotzos, and they're invincible to most attacks. Not the Mike. The Mike is a one-hit screen nuke. Just like it would be in later games. This is before Kirby had copy power-ups, but the Mike is still a screen nuke in this game. You can still kill everyone on the screen. It only has one use in this game, whereas in later games it would get free. If you've seen Kirby's Adventure, you'll know that it can get a lot more in that game. I've never got why that block hits them both at that point. Right. Yeah, that's a pretty neat trick there. I like that. Also, because enemies respawn, if you go back down, that'll respawn as well, because technically that's classed as an enemy. Ooh, I got hit. Alright, I'm just gonna go this way then. See here, you have to fly basically. They know that Kirby can fly, so there are segments that you have to do it. These guys are called Gordos, they're completely invincible. They can't be inhaled either. So yeah, don't bother trying to take those guys on. Alright, I've been hurt, so I'm going to go and get this tomato. In Smash Bros, this restores 50% of your health. Not in Kirby. In Kirby, all your health. Not that it matters, because I only had one bit of damage. But yeah, you can get all of your health back by eating one of them. Okay. I'm not blind about this game, by the way. I do notice it has some issues. Like, the biggest issue you're going to find is that it's really short. A lot of why I'm still playing it is based on nostalgia, I'll admit that. I'll show you what's in that door later. Alright, Warp Star! Do you know how I said that every level had a mini-boss? I lied. Float Islands does not have one. But most levels do. Like, Green Greens has the Poppy Bros Senior, which would later give people the bomb ability. Castle Lololo has Lololo, who doesn't give you an ability, obviously, when in later games, because he only appears as a boss. This level does not have a mini-boss, but it does have the debut of a staple in the Kirby series. Air Shooter! I like this use. This power-up here is called the Mid-Leaf. This Mid-Leaf has been modified in the game's coding to be infinite as long as this battle takes place. So you can have an infinite air battle. So you can have an air battle with Kabula. That's with two O's, by the way. This is Dreamland. I know that I was quiet there for quite a while, but I need to let you hear that song. This is my favourite song in Dreamland, and it's just so bubbly and happy, appropriately for Bubbly Clouds. It's just so nice and happy and cheerful. It's just, I love this song. This is my favourite song in an original Game Boy game. And the Game Boy has some magnificent songs. Something to keep in mind when I say that the second generation of Pokemon has a lot of my favourite songs in Pokemon. Those are Game Boy games. Bubbly Clouds is better than Red's theme, in my opinion. That's why you don't want to try and inhale them, because if you try and inhale Happy, I think they are, they will consume your soul. Yeah, they'll get berserk and angry and start chasing you around the level. I think they do actually give you a copy ability in Superstar and Superstar Ultra, though, if you use the copy power up on them. I think it gives you Crash, which gives you the ability to spin around and knock everything away from you. I wish. It would be brilliant to see Kirby imitate Crash. There's a way that could happen. It's not going to though. Alright. Hidden Door! Dreamland has a lot of... Dreamland has a fair few of them in this level. There's a fair few in the other levels as well, but I'm not going for them because... I don't know, I like just playing through the game normally. But, yeah, you can find secret doors all over the level. There's only one that I'm going to deliberately take later on. This is the mint leaf. This is the mint leaf that we just used in the Kabula fight, but it's not unlimited here. So, yeah. 1-ups. Very creatively designed. That was me testing if the mint leaf could damage to Krako Jr. This is Krako Jr. Like Lololo, Bubbly Clouds has the mini-boss actually be the boss. This is a very easy, predictable pattern. There is if there's one problem with a lot of the bosses in this game, it's that they follow the same pattern quite often. Or at least the mini-bosses do. I don't think the bosses do. I know for a fact that Krako changes up what he does quite a lot in the battles, and I think Wispy Woods does as well if he lasts long enough. Not that Wispy Woods will last long enough, but yeah. This music's just so... I know that this music has a lot of nostalgic appeal to me, but I think this music's genuinely really good as well, ignoring my nostalgia. I know a lot of people who point to their first game and say that's the best thing they've ever played. This is not the best game I've ever played. It is a good game. It was a brilliant introduction to gaming. Do you want to know the game that I got after this game? Gargoyle's Quest. I went from one of the easiest platformers I've ever played to one of the hardest platforming RPG / dungeon crawler-ish things I've ever played. I went from the Kirby series to a Ghost and Goblin spin-off. I never beat the first level as a kid of Gargoyle's Quest. I was too used to infinite flight. Firebrand having limited flight just didn't follow with me. This part, a lot of people point at this part and think, what the hell is the obstacle here? Those falling stars. Those falling stars actually hurt Kirby if he touches them, so don't touch them. That's just, okay, yes, you know how with the mint leaf you had infinite flight, by the way? Obviously Super Spacey Curry doesn't give you that. Going to the moon! I love this skydiving bit. By the way, when Kirby's like this, Kirby actually inflicts damage on an enemy he hits. When he's got his arms down like that. Boss time! Krako! I'm fighting a big cloud. So what am I going to have to spit out at this guy? Later games make this smooth. Wow, Krako's not actually giving me anything to hit him with this time. There we go. That obviously, Krako's doing the same sort of thing that the Waddle Doos do. That's the beam ability in later games. If you inhale... Oh. Yeah, Krako I think speeds up partway through the fight. So yeah. I actually think Kirby's Dreamland has an extra mode that I really like playing. I was paying attention there. Kirby's Dreamland has an extra mode that I think is genuinely really good. and much harder than the regular mode. But I think Crack was a lot easier in extra mode. For when he spawns ammo for you to shoot at him a lot more frequently. By the way, this counts as a musical track. If you go into the sound test, this is a music track. This isn't a sound effect that's looping. That's a sound effect. That there is music. This is good music. Kirby's got my favourite level clear jingle ever. Mount DDD! Let's take the fight to the greedy king himself. Yeah, the plot of this game. This is an early Game Boy game. A lot of those don't actually have their plot in their game. It's all in the manual. The plot of this game is that King Dedede has stolen all of the food in Dreamland, and Kirby's going to retrieve it. It's that simple. So yeah, the boss room. This is the first. Obviously, this will be the sort of first boss rush I played, but I like how Kirby does it in this game because it's not a simple sort of boss rush. You don't just go through the 4 bosses. Before each boss, you still have to do a platforming segment, which is based upon their level. So, we're going to go in the order that the levels were actually played, so that means Wispy Woods is first. This is not what's going to happen in the extra mode. When I do extra mode, I have a very specific order I'm taking, because one of the bosses, I think a couple are kind of tricky, but one of the bosses in particular, Kabula, gets much, much harder in extra mode, and I need to take it out first at any means necessary. The only other boss I have that much trouble with in extra mode is DDD himself, and I don't have nearly as much problems with DDD as I do with Kabula. I think that might not be true anymore. I might have done Kabula so often that I might be able to take it on a lot there. Right, so that's how the platforming segments generally go. You just go through a very short area and try and grab the Kirby at the end. They're not much, but they do mean that this boss rush has something unique about it, and I like that. But anyway, let's go and take on Wispy Woods. Also, I like how during this boss rush, they don't play... Here you go, you can land on top of him. I like how in these boss rush things, it plays the level's theme. With Wispy Woods, it plays Green Greens. With Castle Lololo, Lololo and La La La, it plays Castle Lololo. With Krako, it plays Bubbly Clouds. It doesn't do that with Kabula, because Kabula requires you to grab a mint leaf. The power-up music does overtake the actual level theme. Anyway, rematch. There's not much to say. This is... I think Brawl... I mentioned Brawl in the Family already, but I think Brawl in the Family had a brilliant take on this fight, where Kirby just walks around Wispy Woods to get to where he's going. This is the actual boss room music. Like, it plays Mount DDD the first time you get here. That's why I don't mind it playing Mount DDD in Smash Bros. For this thing, because it does play it when you first get there. I still think it would have been really neat for Smash Bros. If what platform you were standing on dictated what level appeared next. Anyway, Castle Lololo. See, this is a little bit more complicated because Castle Lololo is more complicated than Green Greens. Green Greens is the quintessential first level to me. It's the first level of a game that teaches you how to play a game. Also, I'm going to show that these are invincible right now. You didn't hear a hit sound effect, that's because they can't be hit. They're invincible. You can actually still go through the platforming segment after you've killed everything on the screen by grabbing that Kirby, but there's nothing to see. Alright. I don't like how in Superstar Ultra and Superstar, I think, I don't like how there's one level missing from this fight. I think even Triple Deluxe is arena for the... I think even Triple Deluxe's fighting arena based on Castle Lololo has the 4th level. So it really annoys me that the 4th level's not there in Superstar and Superstar Ultra. Until you do the Revenge of the King mode in Superstar Ultra. But yeah, Kabula! I'll say again, I just love how this game sounds and looks. And I actually think this game sounds and looks a lot better than its sequel, in fact. Well, maybe not looks. No, definitely looks, actually. Kirby himself is more detailed and stuff in the sequel, Dreamland 2. For one, he actually has a swimming animation. I don't know if I've swam so far in this playthrough, but Kirby doesn't have a swimming animation, he just walks in the water. In Dreamland 2 and Kirby's Adventure, they added a swimming animation. So yeah. I mean, yeah, Kirby's Adventure had that first, but... what happens if I grab this when I'm already holding something in my mouth? Nothing. Alright, let's take this guy out again. I think Kabula's supposed to be a female, even though it's just a blimp with a cannon. Ah, I got hit! Crackle! Rematch with Crackle! This isn't a platforming segment, you're just falling. And like I said, when Kirby's like this, he kills anyone he hits. So yeah, that's not much. We get to fight Crackle again, though, and I really like Crackle's boss fight, and I really like the Bubbly Clouds theme. This is my favourite part of the game, right here. Fighting Crackle to my favourite song in the game. I just love this part of the game. Oh, he hit me with the beam. That's... yeah, I don't get what... yeah, I like how Crackle does that sometimes as well. He just wanders along at the top of the screen, because the minute Crackle moves, you get ready to jump. Well, I've only got 3 health going into the DDD fight. Right, there isn't a door though. Like, how am I supposed to get to DDD? There we go. Big Bad himself. And spoiler alert, this is the only game where you can say that about DDD. DDD's not actually the big bad of another game. Unless you count the Revenge of the King. But that's Superstar Ultra, that big bad is really Marx. Oh, King Dedede doesn't have the ability to fly yet, by the way. In Kirby's Adventure, it's explained in its manual, I think, or something. I'm not sure. But Kirby's Adventure explains that after this fight with Kirby, King Dedede taught himself a few new tricks so he could better take on Kirby. Do you notice that King Dedede has a ridiculous amount of health, by the way? Kabula had 10 health points, but Kabula's health bar was a little bit misleading. It took a lot more hits to take out Kabula. This fight's a lot better on extra mode. For one, DDD's a lot faster. Ooh, not today, King. But yeah, I don't know, there's something nice about it. I like King Dedede's sprite, by the way, I think the sprite work in this game overall is just fantastic. Eat this. I know a lot of people who think just because he's got the fly in a later game that King Dedede didn't have the ability to inhale in this game. Well, there you are, you're wrong. King Dedede has indeed got the ability to inhale in this game. I'd have laughed if going up to the picture actually knocked him out of the thing. Alright, bye! You have defeated the king! And he went out the wrong side of the castle. Anyway! 5 sparkling stars! That's a bit ridiculous. It's raining food. Hallelujah. Ending the credits. Like I said, it's a really short game. That's like, how long? About half an hour. That's about half an hour. So yeah, that's the Kirby's Dream Land, the normal mode. I just really like, for my first platforming game, I think that's a really good start. I love this game. And I am fully willing to admit that a lot of that is nostalgia. Far too much of it is nostalgia. The game does have flaws. The game is not really got that complicated a bit of platforming at all, and there's not really any challenge. And it is really short to play through this normal mode of the game. It also is lacking in a story element if you don't have the manual, but I don't really care about story in these sort of games. But I do think the game just is so good in game. I do think the game's really good in gameplay and stuff to make up for that, and graphics and music, and I just like it. Bye bye. Alright, there you go, the extra game. What this is I love the DDD animation on this. I think this is basically a way of setting up that DDD's really out for revenge. It's not. It's a genuine second quest. Yeah, that's DDD off to form a stronger army. You're not gonna win next time, Kirby. But yeah, at the title screen, you hold up, you hold A, you hold select. No, you hold up, select, and A. And that'll take you to, and that'll enable an extra quest, extra game, which really changes up the difficulty. The difficulty gets a lot better, harder. So yeah, that's what's going to happen in the next set of videos. I'll see you next time with Kirby's extra game in Dreamland. See you then.